I'm joined I'm joined by a good friend of mine. Grace, say hello to everyone on the podcast.
Hello, everyone, or good day, as they say here.
Good day is what they say. We've already learned something new in the podcast, so I'm actually chalking this up as a victory. The reason I have you on the podcast is I used to live with you for a couple of years, and one, you bake the absolute best chocolate biscuit cakes ever. So props to that. But two, when it comes to cooking and stuff like that, you lead a plant-based diet life. So basically, I would just want you to talk about just for a minute to why you decided, or in your case, maybe not even why you decided, why you ended up living more so plant-based.
Yeah, so well, we've come a long way from all you can eat ribs and wings in the steakhouse, but yeah, so I moved to New Zealand nearly 3 years ago now, and before I moved, I kind of stumbled upon different documentaries on veganism, or that sort of thing on Netflix, and I just seen a lot of benefits, and I was like, I'll just give this a try. But I mean, when you started, like, it's just beans and toast for the first week. So that didn't last too long. And then I just went back eating meat because I was like, this is just way too hard. And I just didn't educate myself. And then when I went to New Zealand, I was there a few months and I was buying meat, and New Zealand is a pretty expensive country. So I was kind of like, might give this a go again. And so I did, and I just never looked back. So yeah.
When you were
now.
When you were eating meat and stuff like that, did you feel like at the time you needed to change your diet, or we just was more so you saw other health benefits, other things, you wanted to try something new, and just the price of meat and stuff over there?
Yeah, it was health benefits, really. Like, I mean, some of them documentaries, they say a lot, so I was kind of like, I'm just going to test this.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was like, I don't know, cures diabetes and all these crazy things, and I just wanted to see, would it help me? Like, I had no problems or anything, but I just want to see, would I have less energy or more energy, or that sort of way.
Gotcha. And like, how long did it take for you to realize this is for you, not a placebo? Like, were you like a week or so into after the beans and toast, we got more educated and set out a plan? Did you realize it got easier, or like, did you have more energy straight away, or was it just what happened?
Maybe I'd say it was about a month into it, because the first 2 weeks your body is just getting used to eating, like, it's crazy the amount of fiber you eat compared to the meat diet or like a omnivore diet. So your body just has to adjust to all the fiber, and so yeah, it was about a month where I was feeling pretty good.
Gotcha. Geez, that's a long time to stick to something.
I don't know, I'm very stubborn, I guess. And I just like, I'm just going to stick this out. But the more like I got used to it, and then I just, me and cooking and baking, and I was like,
Yeah.
This is great. Like, getting to try new things and stuff. And then also New Zealand is unbelievable for different diets. Like, it's such like so many races there that they just have every type of food. So like, we were going to every restaurant we went to, like, it was different vegan options and everything, so it was brilliant that way. So yeah, and then I mean, I went home then for Christmas, and like going back into like turkey and ham for dinner, and cheeses and wine, and I was like, I might just try it, and it did not agree with me at all. Like, my whole taste buds had changed. It was just unbelievable, the changes in your body.
And you literally just had like turkey and ham and stuff over Christmas, and you were like, this just doesn't even taste the same.
It did not taste the same.
What you have for Christmas this year? Christmas dinner, and I know you're back in New Zealand, but it's Christmas dinner.
So we did it is a big deal, but we were coming to Australia in January, so we did a road trip around New Zealand, and we had, I think it was the Chinese for dinner. It was pretty bad.
God damn it, Gracie. Just want to get a lot of respect for you in this
Yeah,
plant-based diet that went right out the window. Uh,
lots of wine, Sean, but yeah, it was a Chinese.
Fair enough. I can agree with you on the wine part. With the plant-based diet, are you still on 3 meals a day, or did that change for you? Or like, would you have to like prep more to get your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or is it just you don't think about it anymore now?
Yeah, like yeah, I've always kind of been a 4 or 5 meal like a day really. So that didn't change at all. I
Okay.
just, I mean, you have your smoothie or porridge in the morning or cereal, and then you can kind of just snack on fruit and nuts, and granola bars are brilliant. And then you have your lunch or your dinner. I mean, yeah, there's no difference at all.
No difference. And even with gym days, training and stuff like that, because you do fair, you're pretty active with stuff out there, and you do your runs and all the rest. So, what's it like in terms
Yeah.
of any difference at all, really, or is just like your porridge in the morning, you're still good to go?
Yeah, no, still good to go. Like I have a protein shake. That's probably if I was on a gym day, that's what I'd add in.
Hmm.
But yeah, no difference.
Which is pretty much the same, really, as the most of us.
Yeah, yeah.
Final question. I think I know the answer already, but would you recommend other people do plant based? And if so, how hard do you think it is for most people to have that transition into it?
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't do it the way I did it. I'd probably educate myself more. Because I did last year, I did like a plant-based diet nutrition course because I was sick of people asking me how much protein I needed and I wasn't getting enough in my diet. And I just, to be honest, I just wanted to know that I was getting all the nutrients that I needed. It was only a 6-week course, so anybody could really do it, and I learned a lot from that. But I would definitely do a lot more research starting off, like the likes of, your B12, you need your vitamin D, your calcium, your zinc,
Right.
um, and then make sure you're getting your omega-3s from your flax seeds or hemp seeds. But yeah, I mean, it's so much easier now because there's so much more stuff on the shelves in shops. Like every week you see a new product that is plant-based and that people can just swap over, like plant-based burgers, plant-based sausages. And I mean, well, I don't miss anything. So um, yeah, there's a lot more options. So it is a lot easier for people to do it now than it was even like this time last year.
Gotcha. And would that be the biggest misconception, that the protein and the lack of vitamins, do you think, with the plant-based diet, or is there other things that you're always get like, what would you always get questioned on about it when you tell other people you're on it?
Yeah, so it's mainly your B12 and your protein, like, but the people like omnivores, actually it's been proven that they have less B12 than vegans or plant-based people because they know to take it, where omnivores don't know. They think they get, like, they don't really know what nutrients they need, and they probably think they can get it all from meat or whatever.
I think you touched on something there. I know I said last question already, but I think because you're on a plant-based and you're more conscious of what you're eating, and you're training and all the rest, I do think that it, like you say, you do your due diligence, and you study, and you do
Yeah,
a little bit more research on it before you jump into it. You're more cautious, you're more conscious of what you're doing, so you're going to be more healthy than someone that doesn't do it at all. It just eats whatever, and they're lacking a lot of vitamins and nutrients because they're hearing, oh, plant-based people might not have
yeah.
B12 or zinc, but yet they're like, obviously I get that in because I'm eating meat or whatever, but they're not thinking about their health throughout the day. Whereas because you're doing what you're doing, you're more conscious of what you're eating. So
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like we grew up omnivores, like we didn't know any different. We didn't, like, I didn't even know such thing as B12 until I went plant-based and I started doing research and I was like, okay, I need this. So yeah, definitely. It's yeah, because plant-based people, I suppose, like, it's a choice because we never grew up on it.
yeah,
It's a choice to
oh,
change.
gotcha. Oh yeah, that's unreal. I'm not gonna lie, I still love me steaks and stuff too much. But then again, You know what? To be honest with you, the vitamins and the zinc, and I don't think about it too much as I should. So, nutrition is definitely not 100% my strong point. So yeah, stuff like B12, zinc, and all the rest. Like I would take magnesium supplements for running actually, and hydration and all the rest. Seems
Yeah,
good for that. So that'd be one of the
they're
reasons.
yeah they're great. They're great for putting you to sleep at night as well. half an hour before bed.
I think the next time I'm stuck on a question or anything to do with this podcast, I'm going to make a few calls over to Australia and get you on to help me out.
Yeah.
Because,
but yeah, like the main thing about I think plant-based diet is the more veg. I mean, if everybody can eat a handful more veg or fruit a day, that's the main thing.
100%, couldn't agree with you any more on that. And on that note, Grace, thank you very much for educating the rest of us this week on today's episode of the Coach on Fitness podcast. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap this up?
No, just everyone stay safe.
100%. Cheers. Thanks to me and Grace, and everyone else. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the podcast. That's it for myself and Grace. Take care. Now that wasn't a hard video to get through now, was it? I hope you guys got some value out of the video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the Coach John channel, which is somewhere here. And hit that button, subscribe to the Coach John channel, leave a thumbs up. There should be a couple of other videos around here for you guys to check out. And that's all from me for Coach John. Take care.